everybody out there in Prize Land. This is Kris with the Prize Foundation, and I am so excited to bring you another exciting edition of the Prize Cast. We're here every weekday at noon with new guests from the world of film, food, music, startup, and so much more. Today, I'm really excited to bring you an interview with one of my personal best friends, the man that some of you may know as Pseudo John Wick. It's Clint McCommon from Fairfield Studios. Hey, Clint.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
Can't complain. Can't complain at all.
Yeah. As I mentioned, you're the owner of Fairfield Studios. You've also made some films for Film Prize, and you do just a whole lot of other things. Tell us a little bit about you, what you do, all of that sort of stuff. Let us know what you're up to.
Yeah, like you said, my name is Clint, otherwise known as John Wack, apparently. I had the hair and beard first, just for the record. But I work with, I own Fairfield Studios. We're a very small production company here in Shreveport. We do a lot of marketing work as our primary business, but we have been very happy to be able to work on a lot of the Film Prize projects. We like it because it's entertainment, it's narrative, it's a little more fun, a little more involved. And we have helped out on several, from everything from like loaning out or renting out a sandbag to a full trailer to actually working as director of photography or editors or even actors in some of them.
So I know that last year you obviously worked on Shreveport, one of our top 20 films. Tell us what other Film Prize projects you've worked on recently, anything else you may have worked on last year that we saw, any other films we may have seen you guys do. I know that you played maybe a bad guy in a film one time.
Yes. Well, Fairfield is one company, and there are several different creative companies and individuals who are in the Shreveport Bossier area who are super talented. And part of our group is, the main part is John Chambers and Alec McCommon, but we also hire on other people, and they also hire us on. And so last year, Fairfield provided all the equipment for Anniversary, and also John Chambers worked on it very much. He was director of photography and the editor. So a couple others worked on it. So that was our biggest role. We rented out equipment to several. I couldn't even keep track. I know Maven Boys was one of them for sure. And like sometimes it was our trailer. Sometimes it's just some LED lights. Like Rob Sinsko, when he comes in town, he rents a very, very small package that he needs to augment what he already has. We were in one called Hello Sylvia, and where I was a bad guy, and I got to murder my good friend John Chambers and Jeremy Ennis, one of the creators of the film.
That's amazing. We always love hearing about people and their prize experiences. So it's really cool to see how much you've worked on things behind the scenes. Now you guys have been doing something really cool at Fairfield Studios. A lot of our performers here in town are creative entrepreneurs. They are not able to get out there and do those performances, not able to do those concerts, those drag performances, those comic shows. And you have been really instrumental in providing those folks a place to go out and just get in front of people digitally. What made you decide that you wanted to use your space like that?
Well, I wish it was my idea, so I could take credit for it. But the genesis came actually from Logan Lewis, who you know from Logan Legendaries, and John Hoffman, who's an amazing drummer, and he's in a lot of different bands. And they came to me right early on when all these artists started losing all their jobs and started live streaming. And so we want to do a little better quality live stream. And we have the stage already here. We have cameras. We have equipment. And I thought, well, this is really our opportunity to help out a lot. And they really just want to put a cell phone up and do like a normal, just have a better set. But I talked to Brent Lattin and Young Pros Entertainment, who their company is a creative video marketing company, do streaming a lot. And so he'd let me borrow his equipment he uses for streaming. Scott Crane, another videographer, let us borrow his switcher. So we actually were able to step up with our lights and everything else to make a much more better sounding, better looking live stream than most people can do from their homes. There are some doing a great job, but any chance for these guys, like John Hoffman he had 80 gigs mapped out for the next few weeks to 2 months with his music. That's how he makes his full-time living, is all through music. Guys like Winston Hall, Haley Book, the same thing. So they lost all their work. And so if we can make their live stream a little better, a little sound a little better, hold a better audience, get a few more virtual tips, it really does mean a lot to us. We'll use our abilities to provide the service, and we're doing it for free. I mean, we lost all the business, but at least we're doing something with our skills to help out in the community. So we feel good about that.
I think the helping out with your community, I think partnering up with other folks here in the community that are looking to help people, I think that's super amazing. So, I know that there are people in other parts of the country, maybe in Dallas or Austin or Memphis, they're seeing these things and wondering maybe they have a space that they could use to do something like this for their community. What's some advice that you would give people that are looking to step up in helping their creative communities in their own hometowns? What can they do to set themselves up for success?
Well, I think the two things that make a do-it-yourself video improve greatly are a better lighting situation and working and actually thinking really hard about how you do your sound. And if you're a musician, you know, you have a mixing board or whatever else, but you need to make sure that you're mixing your sound for where it's going, which a lot of times is going to a cell phone, is going to a laptop. And so you got to make sure you have set in a stereo channel mix. And there are adapters to do that. There's adapters, you know, for your phone. But if you're taking audio from your phone, you can actually take music from your, I'm going to reset that. You can take your music from your mixer board or whatever your music source is, and there's adapters to put it right into your iPhone. So, you know, an iPhone or whatever kind of phone you have, Google, whatever, they all have those adapters. And so you're putting a better sound into your phone. Even if you're just doing like a podcast, you know, they have those microphones for doing those. You don't want to use your camera audio. And getting a big light of any kind that's brighter than your house lights and put it in a position little where it's in front of you a little bit of diffusion, which could be your wax paper from your kitchen with a work light is better than most other situations. And then thinking about your backdrop, what's behind you? Like you have a very nice window set behind your house, you're brightly lit, so that's pretty. You know, I happen to have a nice studio behind me, which is advantageous, but having a good sound into your video and having a decent lighting where the person looks good on camera will make more people stop and watch it, not be distracting.
What you're telling me is that I'm doing everything right. I have my little clippy microphone that plugs straight into my cell phone. I've got this LED light to make me look flawless. I've got this amazing window and some great plants behind me. So I'm doing a great job, is what you're saying.
Yes. And for the musicians out there, one thing we have been doing just to double check everything before we go live for real is we can do what we call a sound check stream. And you can do it privately or you can do it publicly. When we do it publicly, we go, hey, everybody, we're doing a sound check going live at 6:30, or we send it to a private link and we do a practice run, and then we play it back on our phone, on our computer to see what the sound looks like before we go official live. Also pre-recording. You can always pre-record your stuff and watch it and edit it before you send it out to public. But you don't want to go live and something go wrong or it be a bad sound, and it really just ruins your chance to connect to your audience.
Yes, that's why we pre-record here on the Prizecast. We like to make sure everybody looks their best, sounds their best, makes the best impression that they can for our viewing audience. Something else I was kind of wondering about is, say somebody lived somewhere where there wasn't an opportunity like this for their creative community. How have you reached out to let people know that this is something that's available, or are people just coming to you and asking to go live?
Well, it's been a crazy response. You know, we realized we could do it. We put it on our Facebook, like our Fairfield Studios Facebook page and our own personal page that we're doing this. And we started doing a couple. And all of a sudden we had news stations wanting to come in video before the lockdown got really severe. And then we started doing, you know, we had newspaper stories. People started sharing it. Our Facebook following went up by 1,000, just our page. So this word just got out. And I started getting phone calls and emails, Facebook messages like crazy. And so we've already done 23 live streams tonight in the short time we've been doing it. So it hasn't been really hard for us to get the word out. Also, when you say you're doing something for free and you see like a full stage show, it kind of gets people's attention. And for the musicians, one of the other unexpected benefits was that a lot of them, you know, they make a living, but it's also a passion to play. It's their work, it's their art. And just to be on a stage again after being home for 3 weeks or whatever long it's been for them since they played, and to actually play music and knowing there's people out there, has been almost therapeutic for them and makes them just feel good. Whether they raise $100 is all they get that night or they get $1,000, it's the actual benefit of playing and doing their art again. That's probably more of a bonus for them than anything else. I still think the money helps though.
Of course, the money always helps, right? Speaking of feeling good, what, aside from what you've seen personally just in your studio and on your live streams, What are you seeing out there in the creative community that really gives you hope right now? Hope for us to all return to normal, hope for people to continue to interact with each other in safe ways. What are you seeing that makes you feel hopeful right now?
I'm seeing a lot of people in our circle that made the choice to try to do what they can to help out the community, taking a positive over being a negative about the whole situation. We can't control what happened, but we can control how we handle it. And I've seen some people that I've been friends with for years step up and do some amazing things voluntarily. Micah Harold converted his tattoo parlor into basically a warehouse for supplying supplies for people who need necessary stuff. I've seen Jesse Gillespie and others, a lot of others, making thousands of masks to help provide, if not to the hospitals, to people around town to have some kind of, and things like that. Even the prize cast is something y'all doing extra just to provide something extra. And I don't want to name a whole lot of names because there's so many people I've seen just outreaching, seeing what they can do. And then, of course, there's the ones who are like the first responders, the doctors, the Dr. McSharmas out there who are in the middle of it. And they are not only doing their job and risking their lives and working harder, but they're going out and putting positive messages out into the community about what's really happening and making sure the information is accurate. And those who really want to know what's really going on, and not fall for the propaganda and all the hate stuff, that has been really touching to me.
Yeah. I've also really enjoyed seeing the varied and disparate members of our community really rally around each other in this time, whether that is, like you said, making masks, whether that is donating money to have food delivered to hospitals and emergency workers. A lot of people in our community and communities across the country are just really coming together to do any small thing that they can to help other people. And I think that's really great. To wrap up, I kind of want to move away from what we've been talking about, because aside from being well known as a filmmaker, producer, etc., you're also pretty famous on social media for your grill skills. I would love to know, what do you think is the best thing that you've cooked at home for you and your family since you've been in quarantine?
That is a good question. I mean, it is a good chance to improve your cooking skills when you have more time at home. The funny thing is, I do grill a lot of meats. We do that Barbecue Champs Academy, and I've been smoking a lot of meats. But I did this thing where I took a cast iron skillet and filled it with mixed vegetables and put it beneath the chicken I was smoking and let the chicken juices drop into those vegetables. And Katie, who was my taste tester extraordinaire, said that was the best thing I ever made. It was surprisingly my biggest hit.
That's not at all what I thought you were going to say, but I loved it nonetheless. Let me just say, not what I thought you were going to say, but I really loved it. Clint, do you have any parting words for us? Any words of wisdom? Any platitudes you'd like to share?
Well, one, I forgot to mention Bob at Great Raft. Great Raft was providing all the beer for refreshments for the people playing here since the beginning, and they've also raised over $12,000 themselves for helping out. So I do think I want to say something nice about them in this. Other than that, this has been an historic moment in our time, a dark part, but everything that was good before is still intact. We're keeping people healthy. This shutdown has saved lives, and we'll be able to go back. Everything will still be there as it was before. It might take a long time to get back to a new normal, but it will come back. And thanks to the people in our community that are so positive and so helpful, they'll keep being that way. And I'm really proud to be part of that circle of people.
That's awesome. Clint, I want to say thank you so much for joining us here today on the Prizecast. Once again, I'm Kris, and you can find the Prizecast every weekday at 12 p.m. Central on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LA Prizefest, or on our YouTube link. Just search Prizecast, and there we are. You can like, share, and subscribe to all of these videos, and we hope to see you back for our next episode. Until that time, be excellent to each other, and Viva la Prizecast!